Communication in a company might seem like it should be relatively simple. Management makes decisions, and those decisions get communicated down the employee hierarchy as each superior communicates necessary details to each of their subordinates, and so forth. However, as years have shown, getting the right information to the right person so that they can do their job can be extremely complex. With the explosion of technology in the 21st century, companies are faced with a particularly challenging invention: social media. Increasingly, it seems companies are turning to social media to help gather and disseminate information for their success. But exactly how does a company leverage social media to further business aims? What roles and reputations are important to make the network effective? In a landmark study in November 2016, researcher Havakhor explored the spread of knowledge on social media platforms and examined the impact of reputation and distribution of knowledge roles. Havakhor observes that social media networks, or SMNs as he refers to them, are inhabited by three types of users: seekers, contributors, and brokers. Contributors share and or distribute information, seekers obtain that information, and brokers do a little bit of both. To make this clearer, let's create an example. Let's say that you and your two friends, Courtney and Seth, work at a hamburger joint. Suppose Courtney attends a training in which she learns an incredible way to make hamburgers faster. She decides to write a post about it on your company's private Facebook group. You see the post, and you think about Seth, who doesn't have a Facebook account. You relay the training to him in an email. Now in this case, Courtney is acting as a contributor, you as a broker, and Seth as a seeker. What Havakhor and his colleagues found in their experiments is that the ratios of contributors to seekers to brokers matters. It had a direct effect on the success of distribution of knowledge in the social media network. The most successful distribution of information occurred when brokers were the most active on the network. Imagine if you, as the broker in our hamburger example, didn't decide to communicate with Seth. Now amplify that by a couple thousand employees, where hundreds of you are failing to pass information on. Connection between seekers and contributors struggles if there's insufficient information brokering. Increasing seekers seemed to have little effect on the success of the network, but increasing the contributors saw a decline in the success of knowledge dissemination. In our hamburger example, if instead of just Seth, we had Seth, Adam, and Jimmy as seekers, our network would not necessarily be any better or worse off. You would just carbon copy the email to all seekers. However, what if you, Adam, and Jimmy were all at the training with Courtney, and all three of you decided to write a post about the training on the Facebook group? With limited or no brokers, employees like Seth might never be exposed to the training. Even if he gets access to the training, Seth is much more likely to be confused, as different perspectives provide different takes on the training. If there are multiple Seths, they will certainly get different perspectives and information overload if too many opinions are provided. The more people that you have that are simply distributing content, the less successful the network. Users are spending too much time producing, not consuming. And as Havakhor suggests, the more people producing, the more likely we are to see false or misleading information spread on the network. It turns out, de-emphasizing distribution or giving voice only to experts can lead to greater distribution of knowledge on a social media network. Knowledge roles aren't the only factors to take into consideration in social media networks. Let's say you and I both have an interest in Lord of the Rings, and specifically the Great Eagles, which rescued Gandalf from the top of Isengard. To facilitate discussion and build community around our interest in the Great Eagles, we decided to start our subreddit, r/Loader Great Eagles. After about a year, we managed to muster a force of 200 Great Eagle lovers on our page, with dozens of discussions happening every day. Let's say that I, because of my great knowledge of all things Loader and my awesome meme skills, have posts that frequently reach as many as 100 upvotes. Havakhor would say that I am utilizing an adaptive reputational mechanism. My high reputation is based on my long-standing presence and positive interactions with the community. Now let's say that one day, Token himself pays a visit to our Loader Great Eagles subreddit and makes a comment about something I got wrong about the Great Eagles. Now, ignoring the fact that Token is dead and assuming we could positively verify the identity of Token's user, None of the viewers of our subreddit would question Token's comments. He is the ultimate creator of our beloved Great Eagles. His word is the ultimate source of truth on the matter, regardless of network feedback. Havakhor would say that Token is utilizing an objective reputational mechanism. His reputation, meaning Token's, doesn't change with how many up or down votes he gets. It just goes without saying that he calls the shots in this universe. Havakhor and his team found that having a good split between contributors, seekers, and brokers didn't matter as much in adaptive environments. In our Reddit example, it doesn't matter as much who is assigned or who plays what role, because at the end of the day, the adaptive nature of our platform compensates for having distinct roles. However, the downside to adaptive reputation mechanism is low activity. If users are not actively engaged, reputation can't fall to one user or another. Finally, in the context of many business uses of SMNs or social media networks, there must be objective reputation mechanism. Somebody needs to be the manager. In these networks, it is important business leaders understand the roles of contributor, seeker, and broker, and that they help foster a good balance so that information dissemination can work for them rather than against them.